Riley Davis, your host of the Untold Miracles podcast, and today I am so excited. We have a very special guest. He played 12 seasons in the NFL and is a two-time NFL MVP, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, three-time Pro Bowler, and last year was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. He's an analyst for the NFL Network, co-founder of the First Things First Foundation with his beautiful wife, Brenda, and he's a father to 7 and grandfather to 2. Mr. Kurt Warner, welcome to the podcast.
Kelly, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Before we start, Kurt, I just want to thank you for your support of Children's Miracle Network hospitals. I had the opportunity to meet you many years ago when you played in the Ace Hardware Golf Shootout, and you've done a lot to support our hospital in Phoenix Children's Hospital, and I just want to thank you for the miracles that you've created for our kids.
Well, I tell you what, it is our pleasure to be a part of it. You guys do some unbelievable stuff, and we're just happy to have a little hand in it.
Well, on this podcast, we talk about miracles, and it's been amazing to follow your football career. I feel like there have been a lot of miracles involved with you. Growing up in Burlington, Iowa, you go undrafted to become an NFL legend. And I want to go back to when you were younger. What dreams did you have around the game of football?
Well, I mean, when I was growing up, I just loved sports of all kinds. And so whether it was football season or basketball season or baseball season, I was all in. And all I knew when I was growing up, that there was nothing that made me more happy, nothing I enjoyed more than playing sports, having a ball in my hand. And so from a very early age, my dream became to play at the professional level. And it's really where all my free time was spent. You know, if I wasn't doing homework or doing something with the family, I had a ball in my hand. Might have had to play by myself, or I'd pitch a 9-inning game of baseball to a rock wall that had a little square on it. I mean, it was everything to me when I was young. It was what I loved to do when I had any kind of free time, and that developed into the big dream of one day hopefully playing professional sports of some sort.
Well, your journey into the NFL wasn't the easiest, and you actually didn't see much playing time in college. You were third on the depth chart until your senior year. Like, how are you able to maintain those dreams when you were facing some challenges?
Well, I mean, I think the thing about dreams is that they're not always realistic, you know, from the standpoint of where you find yourself at that moment. A lot of people will look at their circumstances and allow that to determine their dreams, or allow that to deter what their dream may be. And, what you realize is that, it's not always going to be set up and look like, hey, this is, I'm on the clear path to accomplish my dream. And, the same was true for me, is that there was plenty of times when, it seemed like there was a big snag. But to me, that's what dreaming's all about. It's about believing when everything says it's not going to happen, or when everyone says it's not going to happen, and then continuing to work and do your part, in whatever circumstance you're in, to get closer to that dream. I never lost hope. I never stopped working, never stopped believing that it could happen. I didn't know how. I didn't see how. I didn't see the rungs on the ladder necessarily, but still believed that I was created to play the game, that it was what made me most happy. And with those two things, I was going to keep chasing after it.
Your career, it's often cited as the greatest comeback story in NFL history. You went from stocking shelves in a grocery store for $5.50 an hour to one of the most successful NFL careers. How did you go from the grocery store to the NFL?
Well, I tell you what, I mean, so many people, and the story is well documented, but when they document the story, so much of the story is the things that I didn't do, or the things that didn't play out like I wanted them to. For instance, the 4 years sitting on the bench in college. When people hear the story, they hear all the down moments, all the things that you didn't do and you didn't accomplish. When I look at the story, all I kept saying was, yeah, I had those moments, but every time I got a chance to play, I succeeded. Every chance I was on a football field, I showed people that I could play. And so when people are going, well, how do you go from here to there? That's how you go from here to there. That I had complete confidence that if given an opportunity to play football at whatever level, I would succeed. Nobody else saw that. Nobody else understood that mindset. But that's really what catapulted me to the career that I had, was that there was no wavering in what I believed. It was simply just, can I get an opportunity to do what I was born to do? And if I do, I will show everybody I can play like I have every other time I've gotten that opportunity. The hard part was just wondering if I was going to get an opportunity. Was I going to get that true chance to play at the highest level? And fortunately for me, I got that opportunity, or a second opportunity, a little later in my life.
In 1998, you were the third-string quarterback, and the next year you're the Super Bowl MVP. Did you visualize that happening that quickly?
No, I don't think. Obviously nobody else did, but no, I didn't visualize it that way either. I mean, I knew I could play good football. I knew when I got the opportunity to play that I would do some good things, but I don't think anybody could have written the story like it played out, and thought that I would play that well, that consistently, and really to have our team come together like that. I mean, the year before, the team only won 4 games, and so to have a number of guys brought in, great talented players brought in, surrounding me at that time, it was kind of like a perfect storm in so many different ways. But no, nobody saw it coming like it did. But I think that's part of what makes the story so great, is that, it was so far above anybody's expectations, that's what makes it so special.
Well, you've won numerous awards on and off the field: the Walter Payton Man of the Year, Muhammad Ali Sports Leadership Award, Sports Illustrated Most Caring Athlete on and off the field, USA Today Most Caring Athlete. What award are you most proud of?
Wow, that's a great one. I'm most proud of the off the field accomplishments. I mean, it's always nice when you're in a profession and you're striving to be the best. To have some of those awards go your direction, or to win championships as a team, because that's really why you play the game. But no question, what you realize is that the awards you win on the field come and go. Somebody's always going to break your record. Somebody else is going to win a Super Bowl or an MVP. What you love about the things that happen off the field is, those signify impact that you've had on people's lives that no one will replace, no one will take over. And that, to me, is what it's all about, is to be recognized for character more than accomplishment. And to me, the Walter Payton Man of the Year, when it comes to NFL players, is kind of held in the highest esteem in regards to not only what you do on the football field, but more importantly, the impact you have off the field. Just to be in that conversation and to have people think about you in those types of ways is really what I want my legacy to be. I want people, when they say the name Kurt Warner, I want them to think about a man of character and a man of accomplishment off the field before they ever think about what I accomplished on the field.
I'd like you to tell us about your First Things First Foundation. First of all, what does it mean to put first things first, and what inspires you to create miracles for those around you through your foundation?
Well, along my journey of, as you mentioned, being cut and sitting on the bench and working in a grocery store, there was a lot of soul searching done. I became a better football player, of course, during that time, but more importantly, my faith and who I was and what I stood for was really developed during that time. And, I came to realize that, life isn't about me. It isn't about, always putting me first and making sure I can accomplish what I want to accomplish. That life is really about what God's trying to do with you and with the circumstances that He's given you and with the hand that you've been dealt. I came to understand kind of the meaning of first things first. And that name comes from, a biblical verse, Matthew 6:33, which says, "Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all this will be added unto you." In other words, contentment. Focus on something bigger than yourself and focus on what the Lord is trying to do with your life. And so that became kind of a motto to me as I went back into the NFL. And after winning the Super Bowl, the first question I was asked on the podium was, Kurt, first things first, tell us about the touchdown pass. And, I really thought it was my moment to kind of go, hold on here a second. For so long I was chasing my football dream. And, that was the first thing in my life was, how do I accomplish this dream? And then that all shifted. And, this was a nice moment to be able to let everybody know, what first things first really means and what is really most important in my life. And, kind of gave thanks to the Lord for giving me the opportunity and placing me in that particular position. And from there, the First Things First Foundation was founded. And, the whole idea with the First Things First Foundation is, once again, to always be able to take a step back at where we are in life and put first things first. make sure we put ourselves secondary, that our goals and dreams in regards to a professional career or, making money or accomplishments or whatever, never should be first in our life. It should always be, how does God want to use me in my place, in my position, in my character to impact the lives of others?
You've done that with one of our miracle kids, Isaiah Costa. Isaiah, for those who don't know, was born without an air passage or a jaw, didn't have oxygen for 15 minutes, and doctors said that he would be a vegetable. But today, Isaiah is 17 years old, and you've had a very special relationship with him for many, many years. And I texted him yesterday about your relationship, and he says that you're his hero and that he holds you very close to his heart. You've always been by his side, going to his birthday parties, always stepping in, helping him with different causes at the hospital, and he just wants me to thank you for your years of friendship and support. But I would love for you to share with me what you've learned from Isaiah.
It's been such a joy to get to know Isaiah and his family and just watch the young man grow up. But the amazing thing is how unbelievable he communicates, even without a voice. And I've watched him impact people. And I think that's what I learned most from, young men and women like Isaiah and that I've had a chance to meet over the years, is the incredible impact that these kids have with their attitude, with their ability to not let anything hold them back, with their ability to dream big and chase after their dreams. I mean, the things that Isaiah has accomplished from, the things that he does at the Children's Hospital to give back to other kids that find themselves in the same situation that he was in. It's just incredible to watch. But he's one of those kids that when he walks into a room, he lights up a room. And, what greater praise can you have about someone who doesn't ever have to say a word to do it, that has a countenance about him, that has a presence about him, that has a joy about him, even in the midst of everything that he's been through, that he can impact the lives of everybody around him just simply with his presence.
Well, your son, Zachary, spent some time at a children's hospital when he was just 4 months old. Can you tell us how Zach inspires you?
Zach suffered a traumatic brain injury when he was 4 months old, and was told he would be fortunate to live, and if he lives, he would be lucky to sit up. I've watched him overcome and accomplish and exceed expectations almost daily for the last 29 years. Graduated from high school. He's had jobs. He's currently living at a place we call Treasure House. It was our newest foundation, but, living fairly independently at this point. And so it's been a joy to watch him, live every day of his life. And what I love and what I've learned so much from Zach is perspective. Every day is a struggle in different ways, but nothing ever holds him back and nothing ever sets him back. He gives great perspective on, it's about embracing every moment, embracing every day, and finding the joy amidst the struggles. And I get an opportunity to gain that perspective every time that I'm with him.
Kurt, what's the biggest miracle that's happened in your life?
Wow. There's so many different things that you could point to. I could point to my son. A lot of people might say my football career and how it played out. I would just say the greatest miracle was the two journeys of my wife and myself that brought us together. That she was married previously, had two amazing kids, but unfortunately there were some issues in their marriage, and they ended up getting divorced, and she moved back in with her parents, trying to figure out, with two young kids and one with a disability, how to get back on her feet. I was in college at a time, kind of a struggling college student, trying to figure out if my dream was going to happen, and God brought us together, and He led us together. And to me, greatest miracle is always love. Is always being able to connect with someone in a special way, and God bringing us together, and now being married, 21 years is by far the greatest miracle of my life.
If there were 3 miracles you could create in the world today, what would that look like for you?
Wow, 3 miracles. That's a great question. I would end pain and suffering if I could. I would make equality for everyone. I would somehow, the miracle of allowing every person to be able to see every other person for who they truly are. And not by color, not by creed, not by background, but the ability to see everybody the same. And then the third one to me would probably be everybody somehow being able to know Jesus Christ and to be able to understand that relationship with God in an intimate way would probably be the three things that I would point to. And I probably could give you a million more, but those are three that came to the top of my head that I would love to see happen.
Well, before we close, I forgot. I have to ask you, do you have any predictions who will be in the Super Bowl this upcoming season?
Man, when you ask me this early in the season, it's hard to know how these teams are going to take shape and what's going to happen. For the network, I had to make a prediction before anything happened as well. And I picked an all-LA Super Bowl. The LA Rams and the LA Chargers playing in Super Bowl 53. I say that with an asterisk because I want the ability to change that once I actually see the teams play. But right now, I'll go LA Chargers, LA Rams.
I like it, and I think that there may be a few miracles involved with that coming about, but you never know. But Kurt, I want to thank you so much for your time today. I want to thank you for the amazing human being that you are, creating miracles for everyone around you. You and your wife are such strong, powerful people who strive to make this world a better place on a daily basis, and it is such an honor to know you and to witness what you do for those around you. And I just want to thank you for being a miracle maker, and I hope you have a great day.
Well, thanks a lot, Kelly. I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Walmart and Sam's Club. Want to be a part of 1 billion raised to help kids live better? Give to your local Children's Miracle Network hospital when you check out at a Walmart or Sam's Club before September 30th. Together, Walmart and Sam's Club are nearing 1 billion raised for Children's Miracle Network hospitals since 1987, and we need your help to get there. Give today, and thank you.